You're welcome to this module. In this module, we're going to be looking at the 4 P's in copywriting. The 4 P's in copywriting. So this is also a part. You can also put it under the techniques of copywriting. Yeah, we can put it on the techniques of copywriting, but it's a little bit different, and that's why we're treating it separately. The 4 P's in copywriting. So we'll be taking it one after the other. So the 4 P's in copywriting are promise, picture, proof, and push. And all of these are powerful framework that we use to creating persuasive content or persuasive copy. It allows us to structure our message in a way that engages the audience and drives them to take action. You know, the entire purpose of writing copy is because you want somebody to buy, you want somebody to take a particular action. So there are several ways you can do it. One of them is by applying these 4 P's. Promise, picture, proof, and push. So we'll be taking it one after the other, and I will try my best to give you examples on how to go about it. So let's take the first one, promise. Now, promise, this is the initial hook where you make a bold, attention grabbing statement that appeals to the reader's in desire or needs. So it is a bold, attention grabbing statement. You are what promising them. You're telling them something that they most likely want to hear. You get, so when you're saying promise, you are giving somebody something. You are promising them. Let me just use that word. So it is that first thing that sets the stage for every other thing. It grabs attention of people. Like you should have seen a lot of these where people tell you that, do you know you can make 100K in 30 days? Do you know that you can make your skin glow under 21 days? It's a promise. So they are promising you something that you don't have currently. And if you're somebody that really have a skin that is not fine and you want it to glow, you might actually just want to read more about it. So promise is where you make a very bold statement, an attention grabbing statement that appeals to a reader's desire or interest. So if you have not gotten that particular thing that I promising, you most likely want to read it. And let me just really put it here: the more realistic your promise is, the more people want to actually get it. For example, if you just tell somebody, "Do you know you can make 500K in 21 days?" They most likely would not listen to you because of everybody says the same thing. But when you come in and say, "Do you know you can make 500K in 21 days using graphic design?" Now that now starts to look more realistic. You get, you are not telling them how they can get it. If they know somebody that have made that kind of money with graphic design, they would also believe you. They want to read more. You can also make it even much more realistic. You can say, if you're a graphic designer and you create logo design, do you know you can get 5 clients that will pay you $100 each in the next 1 month? That is now much more realistic. You are making the promise look something that is believable. So as much as you want to make both promises, you also want to ensure that it is making sense. A lot of persons online now just make useless promises that everybody know can never be achieved. You get, anybody, like for example, if you don't have any skill at all, it is impossible for you to make 100K under 21 days if you don't have any skill. How are you going to do? You want to rob a bank? You have to first of all get a skill which will take you almost 3 months to even practice and become good at before you can even start to even get your first client. You get, so if you want to actually give a particular promise, ensure the promise is believable. You get, it has to be attention grabbing. At the same time, it has to be something that is believable. They have to actually be a way you can achieve it, or at least have testimonies to back up what you're saying. So the promise sets the stage for what the audience can expect if they continue reading. It's about giving them a compelling reason to be interested, like a specific benefit or solution to a problem. So depending on what you're actually selling, you can give a promise around it. For example, if somebody have a dry skin or maybe an oily skin and they don't know what to do about it, you can create a promise. Do you know that with this single product, you can clear off your pimples in one night? That is actually possible. I believe it is possible. So instead of just saying, come and buy my product, come and buy this, you can create a copy around it. How they can actually cure their pimples in one night with just one cream. If it is something you can do, if it's something you know it is possible, you can create something around that. And you will find a lot of persons want to actually listen to you because of they want that particular solution. What have you done? You have promised them something. So as they read on, you now want to back it up. Now, what's the next thing you do now? Give them a picture. So the next thing you want to do is you want to paint a clear picture of how their life is going to be much more better if they get that particular promise or if they embrace that particular promise. So you have told this person that with this one single product, they can clear all of their pimples in one night. Before you just go straight and tell them the product, you want to touch more on their feelings is on their emotions. So you can start by saying, okay, how do you feel when you're walking on the street and people are looking at you? Like, how do you feel? Like, how confident are you when you go out and you know that you have all of pimples all over your face? How are you going to feel if you wake up tomorrow morning and you apply this one product I'm going to be sharing with you in this particular post, and you'll be able to clear off your pimples in one night? How are you going to be? Are you going to be more confident? Are you going to be this? Are you going to be that? When you're walking on the road, are you going to be happy? You get, so what are you doing? You are making them to picture how life is going to be for them if they get that particular product. You are giving them a picture. It's making them even desire to get that product more, because it's not just telling them it will solve the problem. You are now engaging their imagination to see how life is going to be if they get it. Now, if they can see it clearly in their mind, they want to get it. You get, it's just like when the Bible, Jesus promised us that if we give our life to Christ, our life is going to be smooth, right? Then he now goes about to now give us a picture of how we are going to be in heaven and we're going to be enjoying. Because of the picture, we don't want to just go to hell. We want to go to heaven. We end up accepting the promise. So it's not just because of he says it, it's because of we imagine also that hellfire is not going to be nice, so let's go to heaven. Because of our own imagination, we now want to get the promise. So it's the same thing you apply. So you've told them what will happen. So this is the promise, all of this is going to happen. You now want to engage their imagination, start to make them see how when they get this particular product, how is it going to look like for them. For example, there's a copy I saw somewhere where this person was saying that I think he said you can make extra 250k if you're already working a 9 to 5 work. So you can make extra 250k. Then he now started talking about how, like, what can 250k do for you? Like, extra 250k, you're already working your 9 to 5, but if you can allocate 10 hours daily, as I said 10 hours, 2 hours daily, you can make extra 250k by the end of the month. It was not like, what extra thing can 250k do for you? Can you get a new gen? Can you get a new this? Can you get a new that? What is it doing? People that want to get that kind of money and extra income, they would start to picture, that's true. If I get this extra money, it can even foot this particular bill. I can to take care of this particular thing. I can pay off this particular loan. So it's now engaging their imagination. And because of that, they want to see, truly, if this thing can work, then I need to know if it can work. And also, I want to know how I can actually get it. I want to know more about it. So you are engaging them more. Right, and the next thing you now do is you now give them a proof. Now, after making the promise and painting the picture, you need to back it up with an evidence. So you've told them this is what's going to happen, this is how it's going to happen, this is what you can see. Next thing is now, am I sure this thing can work? Because when you make a lot of promise to people, the thing about promise is people always see promise as something that I'm not sure it's going to work. So if you want them to actually believe your promise, then you need to ensure you prove it. So this is where your testimonials come into play. You know how to give them real-time testimonials of people who have gotten your product or who have gotten similar products. Even if you cannot get testimonials, you can look for data that backs it up. For example, let's say you know a particular cream that can work. Even if nobody have used it before, you can explain how that cream works. So you can say, okay, this particular product or this particular ingredient or this particular plant that we use to make this cream, it works for so, and because it works for so, it is very, very good for this. And if it is good for this, then it can also cure this. So you are making it feel like you are giving them a fact to back up what you're saying. So that's if you don't have a testimonial, but it is always good for you to have testimonials. So when you have testimonials, you want to put them there. So you cannot have testimonials where people are talking about, I bought this cream for this man and this cream, this so. When you're doing all of this, you've already gotten them to even be interested. As a matter of fact, at this point, they are ready to buy from you because of now they've imagined it. You've promised them, and now they can see proof. There is nothing that will make them not want to buy at this particular stage. You get it? So the goal is to build credibility, build trust by showing them that the promise is not just empty words, but it is something that can actually get them results. Finally, now is push. Now, when you have gotten all of these things done, you have proved everything, you have given them all the promise. The next thing is now you now want to push them to actually go and take action. So before this, you can explain more about the product and all of these things. Then you want to give them, what do you do now? The next thing is to put the CTA, buy now, or do this, click the link here, do all of this. You want to give them straight what to do, because if you have actually done it right, then you have moved them from I don't know you before to I want to buy straight away. And once they get to that point, you want them to buy immediately. So you push them to take an action. So this is where your CTA comes in, urging them to move forward, whether making a purchase, whether signing up, whether contacting you. You have to ensure that what you are doing at that stage, it is very clear and it is very, very compelling. And it's also creating a sense of urgency. Because when people start to think on your offer, they start to think, there's a high chance that they'll just go away. So if you want to get them to buy, you have to push them. So you giving them a call to action. Click on the red button below. If that's a landing page, if it is your WhatsApp or your Instagram, click the link below. You get, or if it is you want them to send a DM, send me a DM. You want to make it as clear as possible. You can also give them a sense of urgency. If you don't get this product now, so is going to do, so is going to do that. What are you doing? You are creating a sense of urgency because you want them to buy right away. So if you can follow this technique, the first one which is promise, and then the next one which is picture, then prove and push, you will be able to get a lot of people who will be buying your product. And this is is a very, very nice technique. It's a very, very very, very sharp technique that you can use as a copywriter that will help you to get more results. Like we talked in the last module, we talked about two techniques, and this is another one again. So you can see that they are most of them are actually intertwined. You can decide to take one from here, put it in this one, take one from this one, put it in this one, and when you merge them together, you would see that it's going to even help you create better, very, very powerful copies. Like for me, I always blend everything together. Like I can take this one and bring maybe FAS, put FPAS, and put this. So I'll just merge everything together just to ensure that I'm creating something that's very, very nice. You get, so these are techniques that we can apply to our copies to make it work more better. And if you have any questions regarding any one of them, you can drop them in the comments and also start to put them to work. If you can give yourself a task to write a copy for something and try to use different techniques to achieve the same thing, it's going to allow you to be much more engaged with this skill and allow you to see better ways you can improve on your writings. I hope you understand. So I'll be seeing you in the next module.